The first time I heard the whales sing, I was aboard the Ocean's Whisper, a research vessel that had been my home for the better part of 2 years. As a marine biologist, I had dedicated my life to understanding the language of the sea, but nothing had prepared me for the haunting melody that echoed through the waters that chilly morning. I remember the fog hanging low over the water, shrouding the coastal town of Harrow's Point in a ghostly veil. The town, a quaint and isolated community perched on the edge of the world, had always been a place of mystery and folklore. Locals spoke of the sea with a mix of reverence and fear, spinning tales of spectral ships and sea creatures that lurked in the depths. But of all the legends, the one that captivated me the most was that of the singing whales. They said the whales' songs were omens, foretelling fortune or doom. My thoughts were interrupted by Maya, the captain of the Ocean's Whisper. She was a robust woman, with eyes as deep and blue as the ocean itself. Her family had fished these waters for generations, and she knew the sea's moods better than anyone. "Eli, come quick," she called out, her voice tinged with excitement. I rushed to the deck, where Maya stood with a listening device in hand. "Listen to this," she said, handing me the headphones. The sound that filled my ears was unlike any whale song I'd ever heard. It was a complex symphony of low moans and high-pitched cries, but underneath it all was a pattern, a rhythm that seemed almost intentional. "I've been recording their songs for years," I told Maya, "but this is different." "It's a warning," Maya said, her voice solemn. "The old fishermen say that when the whales sing like this, they're telling us of something ancient and dangerous that stirs beneath the waves." I laughed at first, dismissing it as superstition, but Maya's expression was earnest. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was truth in her words. The song of the whales had always been a mystery, a puzzle I was determined to solve. And now, it seemed, the pieces were beginning to fall into place. Over the next few days, I immersed myself in the town's archives, poring over old maps and journals. The more I read, the more I became convinced that there was a connection between the whale's song and the history of Harrow's Point. Tales of sunken ships and lost treasures abounded, but one story, in particular, caught my attention. It spoke of a dark entity that dwelled in the deepest trench off the coast, a creature of myth that had terrorized sailors for centuries. As I delved deeper into the mystery, I found myself drawn to Maya. She shared my fascination with the sea's secrets, and together, we began to piece together the puzzle. We spent long nights discussing theories and legends, and I found her insight invaluable. She was more than just a fisherwoman, she was a guardian of the sea's lore. But it wasn't until the local fishermen began reporting strange occurrences that I truly began to fear what we might find. Nets came up shredded, fish were found mutilated, and some boats returned to port with tales of shadows moving beneath the waves. Maya and I knew we had to act. We had to find the source of the whale's warning before it was too late. So we made a plan to venture out to sea, to the heart of the mystery. We would follow the song of the whales and confront whatever lay hidden in the depths. As we set sail, the town of Harrow's Point faded into the mist behind us, and I felt a sense of foreboding. The sea was calling us, and I couldn't help but wonder if we were heading towards discovery or doom. The whale's song echoed in my mind, a haunting melody that promised to reveal the secrets of the deep. But as we ventured further from shore, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were not the hunters, but the hunted. The following days the sea blurred into a singular, haunting experience. The ocean's whisper cut through the waves, carrying us deeper into the heart of the ocean, guided by the eerie cadence of the whale's songs. Maya and I worked tirelessly, adjusting our equipment to track the source of the mysterious melody. The sea around us was a vast, uncharted expanse, a realm of shadows and whispers that seemed to conceal more than it revealed. As we sailed further, the townsfolk's tales replayed in my mind like a broken record. They spoke of a time when the sea was angry, of ships vanishing into the mist, never to be seen again. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that these stories were not just idle gossip or superstition. They were warnings, passed down through generations, a collective memory of something ancient and terrifying that lurked beneath the waves. The sun was setting on the fourth day when Maya called out to me from the bow. "Eli, look at this." Her voice carried a mix of wonder and apprehension. I hurried over, and what I saw took my breath away. The water around us was alive with bioluminescent creatures, their eerie light casting an otherworldly glow on the ocean's whisper. It was as if we had sailed into a dreamscape, a realm where the boundaries between reality and myth blurred. But it was what lay beneath the luminescent surface that truly unnerved me. Shadows, larger than any whale, moved with purpose through the depths. I felt a chill run down my spine as I realized that we were not alone in these waters. That night, as we sat in the cabin poring over maps and notes, Maya shared more of her family's lore with me. "My great-grandfather used to speak of the sirens of the deep," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "He said they were guardians of the ocean's secrets, creatures that existed long before man ventured into these waters." I couldn't dismiss her words. Not anymore. The evidence was all around us, in the haunting songs of the whales and the mysterious shadows beneath our boat. We were on the cusp of a discovery that could change everything we thought we knew about the ocean. The next morning brought a palpable tension. The whale songs had grown louder, more insistent, as if urging us onward. We adjusted our course, following the acoustic signals that seemed to beckon us deeper into the unknown. It was midday when we found it. A sudden drop in the ocean floor, a trench that seemed to plunge into the very heart of the earth. The whale songs were emanating from its depths, a siren call that drew us closer. Maya and I prepared the submersible, a small vessel capable of descending into the trench. Our plan was to explore the source of the whale's songs, to uncover the truth hidden in the abyss. As we descended, the light of the sun faded, replaced by the oppressive darkness of the deep sea. The deeper we went, the more the water around us came alive with strange, distorted forms of sea life. Creatures I had never seen before, with glowing eyes and twisted bodies, seemed to watch us as we intruded into their domain. And then we heard it. A sound unlike anything I had ever experienced. It was not the song of the whales, but something older, more primal. It was a low, resonant hum that seemed to vibrate through the very walls of the submersible. Maya and I exchanged a look of both fear and fascination. We had found the source of the whale's warning. But as we ventured further, the submersible's lights revealed the unimaginable. There, in the heart of the trench, lay an ancient, submerged structure. Its architecture was unlike anything known to modern man, a relic of a time long forgotten. As we approached the structure, our instruments began to malfunction, and the submersible shook violently. Something was stirring in the depths, awakened by our presence. And in that moment, I realized that we had not discovered a mere piece of history. We had awakened something that had been slumbering in the abyss for millennia. The ancient structure loomed before us, its presence both mesmerizing and terrifying. As our submersible hovered near its entrance, an inexplicable force seemed to pull us towards it. Maya and I exchanged nervous glances, our excitement mingling with a growing sense of dread. Inside, the structure was like a labyrinth, its walls adorned with carvings that depicted scenes both beautiful and horrific. Creatures that defied explanation danced alongside humans in a macabre display of a forgotten past. The deeper we ventured, the more the carvings seemed to come alive, their eyes following our every move. It was then that we encountered the first sign of the entity. A shadow, vast and formless, passed over us, its sheer size dwarfing our submersible. The water around us churned, and for a moment, I felt as if we were being watched by something ancient and unfathomable. Maya's hand gripped mine tightly. "We shouldn't be here," she whispered, her voice trembling with fear. But our curiosity propelled us forward, deeper into the heart of the mystery. As we progressed, the structure began to change. The walls pulsated with a life of their own, and the water shimmered with an eerie luminescence. We came to a vast chamber, its center dominated by a colossal statue of a creature that resembled the shadows we had seen. The statue's eyes seemed to bore into us, a silent guardian of the deep. It was then that the entity revealed itself. From the darkness, a massive form emerged, its body covered in luminescent scales that glowed with an otherworldly light. Its eyes were like sunken stars, and its mouth opened to reveal rows of jagged teeth. The creature was both beautiful and terrifying, a being that belonged to a world far removed from our own. It circled our submersible, its movements graceful yet menacing. I could feel its power, an ancient force that commanded both the sea and its inhabitants. Maya and I were frozen in awe and terror. The creature was the source of the whale's warning, the guardian of the deep that had been disturbed by our intrusion. It let out a sound that resonated through the water, a call that seemed to shake the very foundation of the structure. We realized then that we were in grave danger. The creature, whatever its purpose, did not welcome our presence. As it moved closer, its eyes fixed on us, I knew we had to escape. With trembling hands, I maneuvered the submersible, turning it back towards the entrance. But the creature was faster, its massive form blocking our path. In a desperate bid for freedom, I activated the submersible's emergency lights, hoping to startle the creature. To our relief, the creature recoiled from the bright light, giving us a narrow window to escape. We raced through the labyrinthine structure, the sound of the creature's pursuit echoing through the corridors. The carvings on the walls seemed to mock our escape, their eyes following us with silent amusement. As we emerged from the structure, the creature let out a final, mournful call, a sound that resonated with a profound sadness. It was a reminder that we had trespassed into a realm that was not ours to explore. We ascended to the surface, the light of day blinding us after the darkness of the deep. As the ocean's whisper came into view, I felt a sense of relief wash over me. We had escaped the clutches of the ancient entity, but at a cost. The mystery of the whale's song had been solved, but it had revealed a truth far more terrifying than we could have imagined. As we sailed back to Harrow's Point, the town's silhouette emerging from the mist, I knew our lives would never be the same. We had encountered a creature from the depths of time, a guardian of secrets that humanity was not meant to uncover. The experience had changed us, leaving us with a newfound respect for the mysteries of the sea, and the creatures that dwell within it. The whales continued to sing their haunting melody, a reminder of the warning we had so recklessly ignored. As the sun set on the horizon, casting a golden glow over the water, I couldn't help but feel a sense of foreboding. The creature was still out there, in the deep, waiting and watching. And though we had returned to the safety of our world, the memory of what lay beneath the waves would haunt us forever. We returned to Harrow's Point under the cover of night, the ocean's whisper cutting silently through the dark waters. The town was asleep, oblivious to the horrors that lurked beneath the waves. Maya and I disembarked, our minds still reeling from the encounter with the ancient entity. The air was thick with the salt of the sea, and the distant sound of the whale's song hung heavily around us. We knew we had to warn the townspeople, to tell them of the danger that threatened their shores. But as we made our way through the quiet streets, we realized the extent of our predicament. Who would believe our story? To the people of Harrow's Point, we were just two sailors with fanciful tales of sea monsters and ancient ruins. The truth was too fantastic, too terrifying to be accepted. We reached the local tavern, the only place still alive with activity at this late hour. Inside, fishermen and sailors shared stories over pints of ale, their laughter a stark contrast to the dread that filled our hearts. Maya and I approached the bar, drawing curious glances from the patrons. "We need to talk," Maya said to the barkeeper, a burly man with a weathered face. "It's about the sea, about what's out there." The barkeeper frowned, sensing the seriousness in her tone. He ushered us into a back room, away from the prying ears of the other patrons. There, under the dim light of a single lantern, we recounted our tale. The barkeeper listened in silence, his expression growing graver with each word. When we finished, he let out a long sigh. "I always knew there was something out there," he said. "The sea has always been a mystery, a place of both wonder and terror. But this is beyond anything I imagined." Word spread quickly through Harrow's Point. By morning, the town was abuzz with rumors of our encounter. Some dismissed our story as a sailor's yarn, but others believed us, their faces etched with fear. Maya and I met with the town council, a group of elders who governed Harrow's Point. We urged them to take action, to warn the fishermen and restrict activity at sea. But our pleas were met with skepticism. "It's just a story," one councilman said dismissively. "We've sailed these waters for generations and never seen anything like what you describe." But Maya was adamant. "The whale's song is a warning," she said, her voice filled with the passion that I had come to admire. "We must listen to it, or face the consequences." The council agreed to a compromise. They would issue a warning to the fishermen and keep a watchful eye on the sea. But it was clear that they did not fully comprehend the gravity of the situation. In the days that followed, the town of Harrow's Point was on edge. The fishermen ventured out with caution, their eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of the creature. Maya and I patrolled the waters, our minds alert to any unusual activity. But the sea was calm, its depths hiding the secrets we had uncovered. The creature, whatever its intentions, remained hidden from view. Then, one fateful night, the creature made its presence known. The town was awakened by a deafening roar, a sound that seemed to come from the very bowels of the earth. The water churned violently, and a massive form rose from the depths, its scales glistening in the moonlight. The creature was magnificent, a being of ancient power and majesty. But its arrival brought chaos. Boats were capsized, the docks destroyed, and the townspeople fled in terror. Maya and I watched in horror as the creature unleashed its fury upon Harrow's Point. We knew we had to act, to use our knowledge of the whale's song to communicate with the creature. Armed with nothing but our courage and a deep understanding of the sea, we set out in a small boat, heading straight for the heart of the chaos. The creature's eyes fixed on us, its gaze filled with an intelligence that belied its monstrous form. We played the whale's song, the haunting melody echoing across the water. The creature paused, its movement ceasing as it listened to the familiar tune. For a moment, there was a connection, a mutual understanding between us and the ancient guardian of the deep. We pleaded with it, our words lost in the roar of the sea, but our intentions clear. The creature let out a final, mournful call, a sound that resonated with a sense of loss and longing. Then, as suddenly as it had appeared, it retreated into the depths, leaving behind a town forever changed. In the wake of the creature's departure, Harrow's Point was shrouded in a palpable sense of unease. The destruction it had wrought was a stark reminder of the power and mystery of the sea. The townspeople, once skeptical, now looked to Maya and me for guidance, their attitudes transformed by the night of terror. The town council convened in an emergency meeting, the room filled with a mix of fear and awe. "You were right," the head councilman said, addressing us with a newfound respect. "We should have listened to you sooner." Maya and I stood before them, not as outcasts, but as heralds of a truth too long ignored. "The sea is a living entity," I said, my voice steady despite the weight of the experience. "Its mysteries are not ours to disturb. We must learn to coexist with whatever lies beneath the waves." The council agreed to implement new regulations, restricting certain areas of the ocean, and funding further research into the whale's songs and the deep-sea ecology. It was a small step, but a significant one in acknowledging the delicate balance between our world and the unknown depths. In the days that followed, Maya and I became custodians of the sea's secrets. We organized expeditions to study the underwater structure and the surrounding marine life. The whale's songs remained a constant in our research, a haunting melody that now carried a dual message of warning and wonder. Our bond strengthened through our shared experiences. Maya and I spent countless hours discussing theories and possibilities. The ocean had brought us together, two souls united by a deep reverence for its mysteries. But the memory of the creature lingered, a shadow that hung over our every venture into the sea. The townspeople spoke of it in hushed tones, a mixture of fear and fascination in their eyes. It had become a part of Harrow's Point's lore, a legend that would be passed down through generations. Then, one evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a fiery glow over the water, the unthinkable happened. The sea began to churn once more, and the familiar, dread-inducing roar filled the air. The townspeople gathered at the shore, their faces etched with fear. Maya and I rushed to the docks, our hearts racing with a mix of terror and anticipation. There, in the twilight, the creature emerged again, its massive form rising from the depths. But this time, it was different. There was no anger in its movements, no destructive intent. Instead, it seemed to be communicating. The creature's eyes met ours, and in that moment, I felt a connection, a deep understanding that transcended language or species. It was as if the creature was acknowledging us, recognizing our respect for its domain. With a final, lingering look, the creature submerged, disappearing into the deep. The townspeople stood in silence, awed by the encounter. From that day on, the creature became the guardian of Harrow's Point, a reminder of the wonders and terrors of the sea. Its appearances were rare but always peaceful, a sign that we had found a semblance of harmony with the depths. Maya and I continued our work, our lives forever entwined with the sea and its secrets. We knew that the balance we had achieved was fragile, a relationship that required constant vigilance and respect. As I sit here now, looking out over the water, the whale's song fills the air, a haunting melody that speaks of ancient mysteries and newfound understanding. It is a song of warning, but also one of hope, a reminder that in the vast, uncharted waters of the world, there are still wonders waiting to be discovered. And so, Harrow's Point endures, a small town on the edge of the great unknown, a place where the sea whispers its secrets to those who are willing to listen. The creature, our enigmatic sentinel, watches over us, a link between our world and the unfathomable depths below. The story of Harrow's Point and the creature of the deep will be told for generations, a tale of fear, wonder, and the eternal dance between humanity and the mysteries of the sea. And as the sun sets, casting a golden path across the water, I can't help but feel a sense of peace. The sea is vast and full of secrets, but for now, we live in harmony with its mysteries, guided by the song of the whales and the watchful eyes of the creature from the deep. In the months following our harmonious encounter with the creature, Harrow's Point transformed. No longer just a quaint coastal town, it became a beacon of coexistence between man and the mysterious depths. Researchers, drawn by the tales of the ancient entity and the enigmatic whale songs, flocked to our shores. Together with Maya, we formed a coalition dedicated to the study and preservation of our oceanic neighbors. Our research vessel, the Ocean's Whisper, became a hub of activity. Scientists, ecologists, and marine biologists from around the world joined our efforts. We delved deeper into the secrets of the sea, respecting its boundaries while seeking to understand its mysteries. The whale's songs became a central focus of our studies. Their haunting melodies were not just communication, they were a bridge between species, an ancient language that spoke of the ocean's history and its future. We developed technology to analyze and respond to the songs, creating a dialogue that had never before been possible. The town itself underwent a renaissance. Harrow's Point, once a quiet fishing village, became synonymous with marine conservation and ecological harmony. The docks, rebuilt after the creature's first appearance, were now bustling with activity, as fishermen worked alongside scientists, their catch regulated to ensure the ocean's health. But the creature, our guardian of the deep, remained an enigma. It appeared infrequently, always at a distance, a silent observer of the town's transformation. Its presence was a constant reminder of the pact we had unwittingly forged, a balance between curiosity and respect, exploration and preservation. Then, on a crisp autumn evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, the creature emerged again. This time, it came closer to shore than it ever had before. The townspeople gathered at the beach, watching in awe as the magnificent being glided through the water, its scales shimmering in the fading light. I stood beside Maya, our hands intertwined, as we gazed at the creature that had changed our lives. In its movements, there was a grace and intelligence that transcended the fears and myths that had once surrounded it. It was a part of our world now, a symbol of the mysteries that lay beneath the waves, and of the possibilities that arise when we approach the unknown with wonder rather than fear. As night fell, the creature submerged, leaving behind a trail of phosphorescent light. The town was silent, each person lost in their thoughts, their hearts beating in time with the rhythm of the sea. In the days that followed, the encounter became the talk of Harrow's Point and beyond. The story of the creature, once a harbinger of doom, was now a testament to harmony and understanding. The town became a pilgrimage site for those seeking to witness the marvels of the deep, and our research provided invaluable insights into marine conservation. Maya and I continued our work, dedicated to preserving the delicate balance we had found. The sea, with its endless mysteries and wonders, was a constant source of inspiration and humility. We had learned that in its depths lay not only the unknown, but the potential for unity and progress. As I sit here now, watching the sunset over the ocean, the whale songs fill the air, a symphony of the deep that speaks of ancient secrets and newfound hope. Harrow's Point stands as a testament to what can be achieved when we listen and learn from the natural world. The story of the creature, the guardian of Harrow's Point, is no longer one of fear, but of awe and respect. It remains out there, in the vast, uncharted waters, a reminder of the wonders that await those who approach the unknown with an open heart and a curious mind. The melody of the depths continues, a haunting tune that binds us to the sea and its inhabitants. It is a song of the past, the present, and the future, a reminder that in the depths of the ocean lies not only the unknown, but a world of possibility and wonder.